Hello folks, welcome. 6th of June. I had a firing just recently here in my little kiln. I didn't show you the results. I thought it was a better firing perhaps, and I had a better rate of temperature to reduction rise. So let me just show you some of the pots. We had a workshop here this last weekend, so I'm just going to put the tripod here. I'm going to bring out the pot so I can show them to you in the sun a bit, because I think it's nicer, isn't it? Let me just bring a few of these out. Some of these, that was a fairly plain one. It didn't have a sgraffito or anything, but it was raw. And I had another one like it. This is basically an iron oxide slip with my milky glaze over the top, and with a sgraffito scratch decoration. All right, that's that. And then that was one of those tumblers, raw fired as well. That got a little bit, just a little bit overlated. You can see that is a little oval. So that's that. What else? What else? Yeah, any of these that grab you, just take a timestamp off the video and send me the image if you want any of these. Okay, T-bowl, cobalt with the iron oxide decoration. This was the one that was T-bowl with flecks in wax. This was when I got confused, if you remember that time. And but actually, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You got the naked clay there. So there's that one. Another one that is same style, similar. Iron oxide. That's those. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I got more. I won't show you them all, but I got more of those. That's quite nice, isn't it? Sort of, I like the way the iron is just coming through here, sort of spotting, you know. But basically a plain one. But you know what? Plain can be quite nice, can't it? And then this. This was a pot I had in my glaze room over there, and it actually had iron slip underneath, and I put a white glaze over the top, and I hadn't realized. And you can probably see here there's a wax decoration, because it's where it's lighter in color there. It looks like there's like a tree there or something, and I didn't, because it had the white glaze already over the top. I then did a cobalt wash, you know, like that other one I just showed you, on top of that. So that's why that one's come out rather muddy and murky. It's because it's got two different treatments. So yeah, that happens sometimes. You know, when you're working and you do things from one firing to another, or you half make things like we used to do with the bisque firing, you know, and then you put it on a shelf, and then you come back to it like 6 months later and you forget, you know. This is really a second, and this was a little bit cool actually. If you can see the iron is a little bit sort of metallic looking. That's an indication it hasn't quite properly melted. Plus got a little, don't know if you can see up around the top of the handle there, handle just a little crack there around the top. It isn't going to come off, but you know, it'll be a second. So that's that. So I need just to show you an example. Now this one was Celadon, but you see the difference there. How it's, see, this is correct in terms of hotness and melt, and the iron oxide is nicely melted, whereas this one, the iron oxide hasn't quite properly, still a bit in a sort of crystalline form, you know, before it's properly melted. Anyway, yeah, this one though, this one was handsome. That was quite nice. That was quite nice. A few more pieces here. Oh yeah, a couple more tankards. There you see the iron slip underneath with a white glaze over the top, where it's a little cooler, and you get a slightly grayer look with the occasional bit of iron spotting peeping through with a sgraffito. Quite nice. I can quite like that though. Again, another one like that. If any of these pots grab you and you like them and you want them, they're 36, these tankards. Write to me, get the timestamp, write to me. Okay, couple more tankards. Yeah, some of the pots that were in this, because we opened a kiln with the students, so some of them they wanted them, you know. This one is sort of a little bit just there on the handle, not quite, but it's better over here. And over here, sometimes with a pot, you know, you can see sometimes which is the hot side of the pot and which is the cool side, you know. Sometimes it's, so this side is cooler here, and this side round here is hotter. I can tell just by the way that's melted. That's that one. This is the same, except this one's got some blue flecks at the top there. And it's also got my, I don't know if you can see around the base here, my thumbprint pushing in like that. Wood ash is sprayed. So basically these are held at an angle like that, and I pour the glaze down and then move it around and then do it another place there. So every one of these is a pour, you see. And then it's sprayed with wood ash around the base. I like that one actually. Yes, indeed. Indeed. What else? These are all the results out of the little kiln. I got some bud vases here to show you. That's with the cobalt, that kind of decoration. Quite nice, a little heavy on the cobalt maybe, just a little heavy in places there. Prefer if it wasn't quite so heavy as that, but that's that one. And then that one is quite nice. And then that one. Now this one, again, you'll see although he's not quite properly melted, I quite like that one. It's something about it I like. Yeah, so these were all raw fired, once fired. There's that one, and then there was another one, just another one like a little oxidized, just a little oxidized. Don't know if you can notice, it's a little bit yellowy down the bottom here, and the clay has got a slightly yellow tinge to it. That's an indication that it is slightly oxidized. But you know, you can gripe about everything if you want. You know, it's not just quite exactly as you want it, but yeah, well, it's part of the joy of it, isn't it? That there's a little bit of variation. It's a sort of, it's not like a clinical oven, you know, where everything is just completely sterile, you know. There's a little bit of variety though. That's why we like it, isn't it? That's why we do it. Yeah, so in fact, since that firing, I've decided even to open up. I opened it up a little bit here on each end, here and here, still a little bit further, and I also took a whisper more off of here. All right, and just get this locked in position. And I did also take a whisper off of this as well. So yeah, just seeking to get that fine balance between, you know, getting the right reduction and the right amount of temperature rise. So what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be packing the kiln again. So I'll be doing that now for the rest of the afternoon. I'll probably be inside just glazing some pots. It'll be a raw firing. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Leach treadle wheels. If you want a Leach treadle wheel, I'm taking orders now. If that grabs you. Keep practicing workshops are ongoing through the summer. Pick a date that suits you, write to me, and come here to Milheim, and we'll get down to basics and get some good practicing in, working to a gauge, learning to pull up the clay like you've never done it before. Yes. Apart from that, nothing more to say. Keep practicing. I'll see you very shortly. Bye bye now.